So as you know, it's the month of high CPMs. Y'all want me to come back and talk about Legends here, but there's just freaking nothing. And I spent 3 months making videos every day until you could slowly see my transformation into crazy. I don't want to share another idea of mine again. It's going to make me far too crazy. And I will come up with good ideas, but I just don't like it. I don't like it if Pokemon's giving me nothing and I have to do all the work. So I've got an idea. Let's go online, because I don't go online to see things, and there's a whole array of things the world has come up with instead. They surely come up with way better ideas than I can, so we'll comment on this, see if we can keep this going for a bit, and surely this will be fun, and we can have something interesting to talk about for Legends EA. Do I believe in this? Yes, I will go with optimism. I think the internet has done great things. They must have come up with some great ideas. Save this post. Imagine that AZ appears as the main antagonist with Eternal Flower Floette. How long ago do you think this game taken place? This man has not seen Floette in 3,000 years, the whole animation. But let's see. First helping you like Volo in Legends Arceus. Maybe helping you collect all the Zygarde cells, and then trying to use Zygarde Final Form to activate his ultimate weapon. He thinks it's called Legends EA because Z for Zygarde and A for Aura Trio. I think that checks out in Japanese. I'm not entirely sure what's happening here, and I do regret coming back to this channel, but I think what you're trying to say is something. Okay, so yeah, obviously there's no set date for when this game happens, but it's not going to be 3,000 years ago. It could be, I could be wrong, but it's more likely than not lining up with the... We've said this so many times. The Hosman's renovation of Parish. This happens between 1853 and 1870. That would be the time period for this game. We're gonna wake up in the catacombs. Backcrap insane ZA theory. The pro tag from Legends Arceus was from a different point in time, because the Sinnoh Legends represent space and time. What about the space part? Therefore, since the Kalos box represents life and death, the ZA Pro tag is going to be someone coming right from the dead. And they're freaking entirely serious. In a Pokemon game, where space was not answered, and then here life is not answered. What about someone coming back from life? I remember now. I don't go online because I die a bit. Were these Scarlet and Violet books way back in X and Y? Yeah, this is something odd going on with the theme of purple and red. It appears here in X and Y. It appeared in black and white, but it also appears in other games too, like the Zelda game I played. I saw it again. A literal Scarlet and Violet book looking thing. Look, you got the Scarlet and Violet books. What are the odds? I remember thinking a lot about this, and there's nothing really to them. They're not involved in a group like the primary colors. The only thing I can think is that if you look at, you know, the spectrum of colors, they're at the opposite ends. But again, that's a weird connection because it loops. So even though they're on opposite ends, they're also right beside each other once again if you look at a color wheel. So that's probably not the case. I don't know why they seem to have some pairing. But yeah, if you ask me, did they have Scarlet and Violet planned? Most likely not, but in a very small way. When considering future names for Pokemon games, I don't think it's off the table that they just knew eventually they would make a Scarlet and Violet game. Yeah, you guys are getting one video from me. I don't even want to go through this anymore. TCG release schedule possibly hinting at summer/fall 2025 release for Legends EA. Let's see, it's from my boy Poke Beach. So pretty much seeing the correlation between the TCG sets and a new game's release, what kind of sets they make. It lands on Legends EA coming out sometime at least after April. So I guess what people on Reddit are trying to say is they wanted it to be early 2025. Yeah. You know, early 2025 is in like 2 months. It's not coming out January. Yeah, it's gonna be like November. What in the frick is going on here? 3 months ago, all leaks by Pocket Ochuku. Wow, I mean, so you have a screenshot of Prism Tower. I can see the graphics. It's more fruity than Legends Arceus. Oh. Yo, it's fake. What we're looking at is fake, but there's some fruitiness. It's kind of a mix between Pokemon New Snap and Scarlet and Violet and all. What other you got? Some information I have. This is the first game in which the opponent chooses the starter first. a sec, bro. You can't do that. Afterwards, you could choose between the remaining two. That would be kind of cool. Like, if this rival always picks the fire starter, for example, and you can only pick between water and grass at the start. They never do this in a Pokemon game. The best they do is have two starters, and rival gets when you get the other. But that's also not the point of starters. So even in that case, they would have you do a Sycamore starter selection again and give you a second set of starters to pick from. Pokemon's not courageous, okay? They're not gonna do something like that. It is not confirmed in the game itself, but by the design of the environment, we can confirm that it is as close as possible to the Parisian aesthetics of the 70s. The initial three are Snivy, Litten, and Piplup. Okay, close to what we thought, but we thought Torchic instead right here. The game begins in the gardens of the Pokemon Laboratory. You're just gonna tell me the whole story? We'll look at this next time. Shank that like button. This is what I'll try to do. I'll try to come back here as often as possible and make videos because I know you guys want to hear someone talk about Pokemon because it's freaking boring out here. So I'll do it for a bit, then I'll disappear. Then when Legends ZA season starts, I'll come back. But I'll keep you entertained for a bit here. So shank that like button. I'll try to find something consistently interesting to bring up in these. So let's see how I do.